This is for the family. It's a block of chocolate, and if you've been paying attention, you'll notice that you're paying the same price and getting about 10% less. This is also for the family. It's a Toyota Kluger, and it too has shrunk in one key aspect, the engine, as the 2023 version ditches the V6 for a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. But does the Kluger still have what it takes, with less power and fewer cylinders, to take on rivals like the Hyundai Santa Fe, Kia Sorento and Nissan Pathfinder that still offer V6 grunt? And despite the fact that you get a smaller engine, Toyota has actually increased pricing for 2023. For example, this mid-spec GXL all-wheel drive I have here is now $64,640 before on-road costs, making it about $3,500 more expensive than the outgoing V6 equivalent. Ouch! Look, to be fair, Toyota has added a longer list of equipment and better in-cabin technologies, so here's what you get.
Standard equipment in the base 2023 Kluger GX includes 18-inch wheels, rear privacy glass, 3-zone climate control, a 7-inch driver display, and an 8-inch multimedia touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto. Step into the mid-tier GXL like we have here, and you score better-looking 18-inch alloys, roof rails, power-adjustable and heated front seats, a power tailgate, and a larger 12.3-inch multimedia touchscreen. Meanwhile, the top-spec Kluger shares its name with a Popstar Queen and Starbucks coffee size, Grande, and adds niceties like a wireless smartphone charger, cooled front seats, faux wood grain interior trim, a surround view monitor, panoramic glass roof, a head-up display, and upgraded sound system. However, the biggest inclusion in the spec sheet might be Toyota's new Connected Services suite, which buyers are given 12 months of free access when they take delivery of their new Klugers. This service allows access to features such as an automatic collision notification that will alert and direct emergency services to your location in the event of a serious accident, remote vehicle startup, a handy vehicle locator function in case you get lost in the maze of Chadstone's car park, and pushing navigation data from the car to your phone for when you have to continue your journey on foot.
And to be honest with you, that equipment list isn't all that impressive for a $65,000 family SUV. While it's nice to have features like heated front seats and that powered tailgate, especially when you're carting around a family, I would have liked to see some features from the top spec Grande, like a wireless smartphone charger and the surround view monitor, be made available in this GXL. And things are also exceedingly average when you start to look at the Kluger's design. I think this car might be the most boring looking car in its class. I mean, line it up against the mature Mazda CX-9, rest in peace, the hip Hyundai Santa Fe, and the confident Kia Sorento, and this clunky Kluger starts to look really dated.
Look, there are some cool design flourishes like this bewinged Toyota badge up front and a muscular bonnet, but the face just screams generic SUV, at least to me. And credit to Toyota for trying to spruce things up in profile with a curvy character line that runs from the bottom of the front doors all the way up to the D-pillars. But again, there's nothing really here to hold your attention. Even the 18-inch wheels just look ho-hum and ordinary. The rear end, at least, features a little more character, helped by these slim wraparound taillights and a roof-mounted rear spoiler that add some much-needed flair. Step inside the cabin, and again it seems like Toyota have opted down the function over form route. You've got a large touchscreen multimedia system front and center with enough buttons to cover most functions, while the center console is laid out in an easy to understand manner. The nicest design touch in here is probably this accent stitching, but there are far too many hard plastic surfaces in this GXL to feel upmarket.
There's just no standout design features with the Kluger inside or out, which makes this car come across a little like that one friend that finds even mayonnaise a bit too spicy. Shout out to you, Samuel. Which is a really big shame because once you get over the bland looks, there's a really spacious and comfortable family SUV underneath here. I mean, just look at me, I'm in the front seat and there's heaps of room to spread out, get comfortable, and storage options galore. My water bottle goes here, keys and wallet in here, and the phone has a nice little storage tray up here, which leaves plenty of room for family essentials like coffee. I will have to call out this underarm storage cubby though, which opens by sliding this lid back rather than the usual lifting maneuver. It means the aperture is narrower than you'd expect, and you probably have to think twice before throwing in something big and bulky. Moving into the second row, there is room to spare, even with this car seat installed. The second row can slide and recline, so you can get into the most comfortable position possible, and even the middle seat is usable thanks to this relatively flat floor. Back here, amenities include air vents, you've got climate controls, a fold-down center armrest, and storage options here and here. And I will have to call out the relatively flat lip on the floor, which means ingress and egress is that much easier. The third row, however, can be a bit of a letdown because the second row seats are really bulky when you fold them down, making it hard to get in and out of. And back here, there's just a lack of anything really. You've got some air vents in the roof and some cup holders to keep you entertained, and that's about it. You'd really only want to have kids back here, which is pretty standard for a car of this class. As for boot space, with all seats in place, the Kluger will swallow a 241 litre load, expanding to 552 litres with the third row folded flat. Get that second row down and space swells to a gargantuan 1,150 litres. And if these numbers mean absolutely nothing to you, know that with 3 rows in place, you'll fit some groceries and backpacks. With 2 rows up, you'll get a full-size pram, nappy bag, luggage, and more. And with just the front seats up, trips to Bunnings and IKEA will be a cinch. But it's here where you'll notice the biggest change in the 2023 Kluger, because that's a 2.4 litre turbo petrol 4-cylinder engine, which replaces the outgoing 3.5 litre V6. Outputs reach 198 kilowatts and 420 newton meters, which is down 20 kilowatts but up 70 newton meters compared to the old motor.
Paired to the engine is an 8-speed automatic transmission. However, keep in mind this 2.4 litre engine will still tow a maximum braked capacity of 2,000 kilos, matching the figures offered by the old V6. This version sends drive to all 4 wheels, but Toyota also offers up front-wheel drive Klugers in the same trim for about $4,000 less.
But Toyota switched to a smaller engine for huge gains in fuel efficiency, right? Right? Well, the difference in fuel consumption might be a little bit smaller than you'd think. The old V6 engine would return an official fuel consumption figure of 8.8 litres per 100 kilometres when in this all-wheel drive GLX grade. While this new car, it does 8.5 litres per 100 kilometres. That's right, switching to a smaller engine has only yielded a gain of 0.3 litres per 100 kilometres, which I guess with the cost of petrol these days could add up in the long run.
And in my time with the Kluger, I managed an average of 10.9 litres per 100 kilometres, with driving conditions relegated to inner city commuting and runs back and forth from childcare. To be fair, Toyota also claims that emissions outputs have dropped from the 205 grams per kilometre of the V6, but are yet to reveal how pollutant this new large SUV is. It's a step in the right direction for sure, but given the little gains in efficiency, this powertrain overhaul feels a little bit superfluous.
Who is buying a 3-row family SUV for its driving dynamics? Absolutely no one, that's the answer. So in that regard, this Toyota Kluger just needs to feel confident and easy to live with on the road. And in this respect, I can give this car a big green tick. The steering feels well weighted and offers plenty of feedback for what's going on underneath, but things never get too hard to handle. The suspension is also quite softly sprung, which means the cabin remains calm and serene even when going over bumps and rough surfaces. From a dynamics point of view, there's nothing all that surprising, which is perfect for a car of this class, which is much more at home in a shopping centre car park or running the kids to school, rather than carving up a curvy road. But let's talk about that engine. If you've scoffed at the fact that the Kluger no longer has a V6, don't take this Toyota off your shopping list just yet, because this 2.4 litre engine, it's a good one. Peak torque is available really early on at 1700 RPM, which means there's plenty of pickup and go in this Kluger. And that 8-speed torque converter automatic, it's a smooth one as well, shifting up and down seamlessly without any fuss. I do miss the small things though, like I wish Toyota put paddle shifters behind this steering wheel, which would keep me a lot more engaged while driving. But overall, this powertrain is a good one for a 2-ton SUV like this.
The 2023 Toyota Kluger wears a maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating from when it was tested in 2021, which the safety body says applies to all variants including this new 2.4-litre version. The Kluger scored excellently in the adult and child occupant protection tests, and standard safety system highlights include autonomous emergency braking, rear cross traffic alert, front and rear parking sensors, adaptive cruise control, automatic high beams, and 7 airbags. And for the full safety breakdown, check out our review at carsguide.com.au. Like all new Toyota models sold in 2023, the Kluger comes with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, matching the industry standard of rivals like Mazda, Ford and Hyundai. However, it still falls short of the 7-year assurance period offered by Kia, MG and SsangYong. Where the Toyota does beat out most of its rivals, however, is in its servicing costs. Scheduled maintenance is every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first, with the first 5 services locked to just $265 each for the first 5 years.
Just like the new Fast and Furious movies, the Toyota Kluger is all about the family. I just wish that the films and the car itself were a little bit more interesting to look at. The Toyota Kluger might not be all that exciting in terms of aesthetics or driving dynamics, but it is still a very comfortable and spacious family hauler. The changeover from petrol V6 to 4-cylinder might not be as noticeable as you think, for good and bad. I just wish Toyota would inject a little bit more personality into its Kluger.